Hello, we're going to be talking about SimpleCov today, and I've created this sample kind of project for you, not a project, but some files, some code, uh, to kind of to illustrate, what we have here. So we have this hello test. We're testing that the greet method on the hello object returns hello there, and we have this goodbye test that when you call the goodbye method on goodbye, it will return goodbye. And let me actually show you the code for that. And we see here we have bye that returns goodbye. We also have this rude bye that we don't have tested. So just to make sure, to show you that everything works, I'm going to run rig test, and we see that we have 2 runs and 2 assertions in here, which is exactly what we had in our test. And now what we need to do is we need to prepare, kind of like get everything ready, all of our testing, where we need it to be in order to install SimpleCov. So SimpleCov is a testing metric. Gives you some testing metrics, like some information about your tests. And the first thing we need to do is that we have some repetition. If we, let me move this over here, we can see that we have some stuff that's the same here. And much like in our tests and our rest of our code, we want to reduce the amount of code that we repeat. So down here, we're going to touch test underscore helper.rb. Up here, I'm going to now open it, and in this test helper I'm going to put the stuff that's common to the files. Require mini test auto run, require mini test pride. Cool. And we're going to save that, and what we're going to do is in our goodbye test we're going to replace that with require test helper. In our hello test, we're going to replace the same thing. So we see here that we've cut down the repetition a little bit. And you might think, well, we're saving a line. That's not really worth it. Yes, we're only saving one line right now, but think about more complex projects where you may be requiring a whole bunch of other stuff. And so now what we're going to do next is that we are going to run our rig test again and see that we have not broken anything. We refactored a little bit, and we've run our test again to verify what's happening. So now we have this test helper, we have these 2 lines, and what we need to do is that we need to get our SimpleCov installed in this project. And what we're going to do is first I'm going to gem install SimpleCov. I think I have it already installed here. No, I didn't. So it's going to install the thing. So to actually use SimpleCov in your project, what you need to do is you need to go to your test helper, and at the very top of your test helper you have to do this. Require SimpleCov, because it's a gem we're using, and I'm going to use SimpleCov, capital C, dot start. And what happens is that when we run our test using our rake test, it's going to hit the test helper first, and it's going to start the SimpleCov. And what SimpleCov does is it generates an HTML report talking about how good your code coverage is. It tells you what percentage of your code has testing, and it's just a good guide to see where you've missed out in your testing. So what I'm going to do now is with this saved, I'm going to run my rake test, and we see here that a coverage report has been generated for unit tests to coverage folder. So what happens is that we have this coverage folder now in here, and there's an index file in here, which is our HTML report, and it says that I've tested 92.86% of my tests. That's great. Let's check it out. So I'm going to open up my coverage directory and open the index file. So what I can do is open coverage. This is one way you can do it, and that brings me here, and I have an index HTML file. I'm going to click. My browser's on my other screen, but I'm going to drag it over here, and we have this really cool coverage report. We see here that hello to RB is 100% coverage, all green. That's great. And we see goodbye, which is only 8% coverage. Like, well, let's click. Let's see. And we see here that, yeah, we did that. We tested bye, but we didn't test goodbye Felicia. So that's in red. Red shows that we did not test that. And that's great. And the number here, just I believe, talks about how many tests cover that line of code. So we see here that in the goodbye class, we're only testing 8% of the relative lines. We've got 4 lines covered and 1 line's missed. So we know we can fix that, right? So we can go down here, def test it can be rude, goodbye equals goodbye.new, assert equal goodbye. Let's goodbye, comma. Felicia. That looks good. Let's run the test again. Oops, did I not save it? Oh, I generated an error. Test, it can be rude. What did I make a mistake here? Oh, I didn't actually pass it anything. Goodbye dot rude bye. Cool. Let's do that again. Got 3 runs, 3 assertions, and we see that our report is 100% coverage. We go back here. I want to go hit refresh, and we see that we've got 100% coverage. This report's been generated, and we're all good. One thing I do want to mention to you specifically is that if you're using SimpleCov, find out what a .gitignore file is and add your coverage folder to the .gitignore file. You don't want to be pushing up your coverage reports to GitHub. And that is it. This was SimpleCov.